That is great. I'm so impressed.
My sister started playing the flute when she was in 5th grade, and I always thought, a flute was a girl's instrument. But then I found some of the best flute players in the world are guys, along with girls, Jean-Pierre and Powell. We found a little bit more about flutes and how you make a flute when we went out to the Powell Flute Factory in Waltham. Let's take a look.
The flute looks like a very simple instrument, but actually the process that goes into making the flute is a very complicated one with very intricate craftsmanship. My name is Debbie, and I work at Verne Powell Flutes here in Waltham, and I'd like to show you how these instruments are made. Verne Powell started making his own flutes in 1927. These are handcrafted instruments made out of sterling silver, 14-karat gold, platinum, and 2 metals that are exclusive to Powell, ormite and platinum 4. When a flute player orders a flute from us, we will customize that flute to their specific needs. Now, to start the flute making process, we have to start with the body, and you are now in the body department in our shop. And this is Chris Foley, who is our body department supervisor, and he will show you what is happening here.
What we start out with is a bare tube, and we polish it. After polishing smaller tone hole tubes, we solder them on in position, in place. After that, we take ribs, which are made beforehand, soldered together with silver solder, and we place them on the flute right above the tone holes so that we can line up the posts so that the keys and the cups will fit right over the tone holes. We cut the tone holes out, clean up the flute, take all the lead solder off it, and polish it, and then basically send it on its way over to the stringing department.
Once the instrument leaves the body department, it goes to the stringing department. Now, they don't use string in there. They apply all the mechanism to the body and to the foot joint of the flute. When the instrument leaves the stringing department, it finally starts looking like a flute. However, it's missing something very important, and that's the pads that go inside the cups. This is Rob Viola, and he will show you how a flute is padded here.
When a padder gets a flute, it needs to be polished. Corks have to be put on the flute. Spring wires, so the keys will go up and down, have to be placed and cut to length. Then the most important, the pads have to be put in the flute. And to keep them flat, little pieces of paper have to be cut and placed underneath. Put back together and made sure that it's nice and level.
This is the head joint room in our shop, and this is where, as you can guess, the head joints are made. The head joint is this part of the instrument that you blow into. This is about the size of a head joint. Michael Greer is one of our head joint makers here at Powell, and he will tell you how the head joints are made.
We receive tubing from a company that fabricates it for us in a straight, parallel tube. And we draw this tube over a tapered arbor. The lip plate and wall, or riser, consists of 2 parts. One is the cast wall, and then the stamped lip plate. So both these procedures are unique in that they're very different from each other. The cast wall is then sanded to a nice shine, and then we polish the lip plate, and we silver solder these 2 parts together to give us something like this. We then cut the hole out, attach it to a tube.
The sounds you hear are from our flute tester, Steve Finley, or Finley as we call him in the shop. Once the flute leaves the padders, it goes to him and he tests the flute out to make sure everything is working properly.
What my job is to test all the flutes, piccolos, head joints, and overhauls, COAs, which are clean oil and adjust, and I adjust all of the instruments daily, and by playing on the different instruments and understanding each pressure that's needed for the right hand, the left hand, or the foot joint.
Once the flute leaves the tester and is officially passed, we send it off to the customer. These flutes are played in orchestras throughout Europe and Asia and all across America. So, next time you hear a flute being played in a jazz club or in a rock band or in a symphony orchestra, you'll know a little bit more about how precious this instrument is and how it's made.
And now let's leave the show today by going to the Powell Flute Factory for the Powell Players with an arrangement by Tom Sayers. Do you like playing the flute, Liz?
I've never played, but I have to say I was very, very impressed. You were pretty fantastic.
Well, I
I'm
enjoyed
very
playing the
impressed
flute.
by your flute playing and your friendship qualities.
Well, here they are now.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.